Good evening and welcome to our William Fleming High School 50th reunion, and we are going to have a great time tonight. So our videographer Rob is going to ask us some questions. And Rob, what's your first question?
Your name, including maiden name.
My name is Barbara Mann Emerson.
Where have you lived since high school?
Well, I left Roanoke, Virginia. I went to college. Then I went to Richmond, Virginia, where I stayed 38 years. Then I moved to the Villages, Florida for 5, and then now I'm in Wesley Chapel, Florida.
What was your career?
Well, I was in education most of my life. I started as a teacher, guidance counselor, career counselor, drug abuse counselor, then I became a career coach, and now I'm an instructor at a community college.
How many children and grandchildren and their ages?
I do not have any. I have a wonderful yellow lab named Honey Ray Emerson, and she's 10.
And how do you feel about seeing these people after 50 years?
I think it's absolutely wonderful. I think we're happy to be alive and to be well and on this planet, so I'm excited for the evening. Thank you, Rob.
Anything else you want to add?
No, just everybody have a great time.
Mine's Kathy Hudson Wright.
And I'm Frank Lewis Wright Jr.
And where have you lived since high school?
Virginia Beach is where we're living now. We lived in Roanoke all the other time.
Yeah.
And what are both your careers?
Of course, we were both retired now. When I worked, I was an executive assistant to many different companies and presidents and stuff like that.
Yeah, I started my career as a policeman and did that for 14 years. And then I became an artist. I was an artist all the time, and then I retired as a creative director for Norfolk Southern.
And how many children and grandchildren and ages?
We have 2 children. Our son is almost 48. Our daughter is 42. We have 5 grandkids. They range from ages. We have 6, 7, 12, 17, and almost 18. So we have 5.
How do you feel about seeing everyone after 50 years?
Oh, it's awesome. I always love doing this.
Yes, it was fun.
It's always a lot of fun.
Okay. And anything else you want to add?
No, we went to school. We went together all the way through high school.
Met in the 10th grade.
And been married almost 49 years.
Yeah.
Been together almost 54 years.
It's been great.
Yep, it's been great.
So it's been great. Yes. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm Sam Pillis. This is my wife, Nancy.
Bowman Pillis.
Nancy Bowman Pillis.
All right. Where have you lived since high school?
In Botetourt County.
And what has been your careers?
I worked for, started off Norfolk and Western Railroad and turned out to be Norfolk Southern Railroad, and I spent 41 years there.
I babysat at home for several years, and then last I worked was at Allstate.
And how many children and grandchildren and ages?
Oh my goodness, well, we have 3 children. I think one is 40, one is 36, and one is 32. And we have 4 grandchildren. One is 14, 11, and
5-year-old twins.
5-year-old twins, boy and girl twins.
And how do you feel about seeing everyone after 50 years?
How feel about what now?
How do you feel about seeing everyone here after 50 years?
Well, it's just nice to still be around here, so.
Okay. And anything else you want to add?
I can't think of anything. It's nice of the people that went through all the trouble to put together this 50th reunion celebration, and we appreciate that very much and look forward to talking with a lot of old friends.
All right, thanks a lot.
Thank you.
I am Carolyn Word
And where have you lived since high school?
in Roanoke.
Okay. What was your career?
Multi-careers, mainly working with veterans.
And how many children and grandchildren and ages?
5, 20, 17, 13, 2 are 11, and a 7-year-old.
How do you feel about senior one after 50 years?
How do I feel about what? How do I feel about what?
How do you feel about senior one after 50 years?
Oh, it's always very interesting. Yes.
Anything else you want to add?
I'm always glad to make these reunions. I started making them after a while, but it's always fun. I enjoy being here.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Larry Maddox.
Doris Brown Maddox.
And where have you lived since high school?
We've stayed in the Roanoke area. When we first got married, we moved to the Hollins area. Then we kept going north for a little bit more land, and we moved into Botetourt County. So we've been in Troutville, Virginia for 40 years.
Yeah.
And what was your career?
I was with the U.S. Marshal Service.
And I was a supervisor at C&P Telephone Company, and then I taught Lamaze classes for 12 years, and then I worked at Hollins University.
How many children and grandchildren and their ages?
You go ahead.
Okay, we have a daughter who's 47, a son who's 41, and we have 4 grandchildren. We have a grandson who's 16, one who's 10, one who's 9, and a granddaughter that's 2.5. And we babysit her while her parents are working.
And anything else you want to say?
Do what?
Would you like to say anything else?
Any other
We're
words?
just happy to be here.
We are, and we've been having our class reunions every 5 years. So we've had a lot of class reunions, and we have a lot of fun. It's fun to get together, and we appreciate you being here tonight.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
I'm Linda Lily Ferris, and this is my husband James Ferris.
Where have you lived since high school?
I have lived in Daleville, Virginia, and then I moved to outside of Atlanta in Milton, Georgia.
And what are your careers?
I am a retired Norfolk Southern employee, and my husband is an attorney.
And how many children and grandchildren and their ages?
Okay. We have 2 boys. Their ages are 41 and 38, and we have 2 grandchildren. They are 7 and 3.
And anything else you want to say?
It's nice to be here.
To be vertical.
That's about it.
Thank you. Go ahead.
Patty Mahan Carrico.
From Springfield, Virginia, and I'm Bill Carrico.
Where have you lived since high school?
Well, we moved to Washington, D.C. after I met Patty at Roanoke College, moved to Washington, D.C., and then we moved to Texas for 20 years. Came back to Lynchburg, then to Concord, and we've been back in Roanoke taking care of my 95-year-old mom for the last 6 months. So these are easy so far. The questions are easy so far. Okay.
What have your careers been?
Okay. Patty worked for Pentagon Federal Credit Union. I worked for IBM. Then I became a consultant, and tell everybody I was self-unemployed for my career. That's right. But yeah, but we're trying to get through this. I'll let you take the next one. Hi, Ellen.
All right, children and grandchildren and their ages.
Hi. Well, yours.
Emily, 19. Clay, 18. Lexi, 18. JC, 12. Ashley, 10. And Kayla, 8.
And those are our grandkids. Our kids are Katie, Jeff, and Allie. 43, 41, and 27. Allie was a surprise. Big surprise.
How do you feel about seeing everyone after 50 years?
I'm just not sure I'm at the right place. I just hope that we're at the right reunion.
Anything else you want to say?
No. Grace and peace. Thank you. Look forward to having a good time.
Thank you for.
Thanks, Rob, for
thanks,
doing all this.
Thanks everybody for putting it together.
Oh. My website's x4.com if anybody needs to get in touch with us. Just the letter X, the number 4.com. Bye-bye.
Ellen Langford Brown. My maiden name is Langford.
Where have you lived since high school?
Except for a brief time in Waynesboro, Virginia, and Lexington, Virginia, I've lived in the Roanoke Valley.
What has been your career?
I was in human services, social work for 42 years.
And what are your children and grandchildren and their ages?
Now, that's a hard question for some folks. I'm glad you asked before people started drinking. So, you asked these questions before people start drinking. That's good. Well, my oldest is Amanda Maureen Brown. She's 35. She's married with 2 daughters. My second child is Stephanie. She's 31. She's a single mom now. She has a son and a daughter. And my youngest is Garrett, and he will be 29 this year. And he and his wife just had their first baby, a little girl named Ariel. Did you want the names of all my grandchildren?
Yeah, if you don't mind.
Okay, Amanda's daughters are Eliana and Evelyn, and Stephanie's children are James and Julia. And then I said that my son's daughter is Ariel. She's only 2 months old.
How do you feel about seeing everyone after 50 years?
I feel very blessed that I'm still here. I'm in good health, and I can remember a lot of my classmates. And I've been to almost all the reunions. I think it's great to get together. I enjoy it.
Anything else you want to add?
Oh, I hope we do this again in 5 more years. Okay.
All right, that's it.
Thank you.
Ava Gregory Stanzak.
And where have you lived since high school?
I have lived in Texas, Maine, back in Virginia, and back in Texas.
What has been your career?
I'm a physician. I'm an osteopathic physician.
I mean, children and grandchildren and their ages.
Okay, we've got 7 children. They range in age from 48, the birth children, 48 down to 42. The 2 adopted children, one's 25, one's 22. And grandchildren, I have 10. They range in age from 24 down to 12.
Do you want to give their names?
Sure, if I can remember them. Children's names. Chip, Carly, Christian, Austin, Andrew, Javier, and Sarah. Okay, I think that's 7. I think I got everybody. Then I've got grandkids. I've got that's gonna be harder. I've got Bridget, Nathan, Aaliyah, Lexi, Emma, Jack, Levi, Maggie. Got one more. I think that's it. I think I got them all. Wow, that's a lot.
How do you feel about seeing everyone after 50 years?
I think it's great. I think we are an amazingly vibrant group of people.
And anything else you want to say?
No, but I'm glad to be here.
Alton Burnett.
Where have you lived since high school?
In Roanoke.
What was your career?
I worked for Carter Machinery for 45 years.
How many children, grandchildren, ages, and names?
I got two children. Brian, who was 43, Anita, who was 35, Clara, who was 15, and Jeffrey, who will be 12 in November.
How do you feel about seeing everyone after 50 years?
It's amazing to see everybody and how much fun everybody is having tonight. and it's just good to remember all those good times we had in high school.
And anything else you want to say?
Oh, it's good. Okay, thank you.
Marlene Bryant.
I don't have a maiden name.
Where have you lived since high school?
Oh, goodness. Richmond, Virginia, Blacksburg, Virginia, Lexington, Kentucky, Harrisonburg, Virginia, Roanoke again, and now Bedford County.
And what have been your careers?
Oh, I was the Chief Financial Officer for Blue Ridge Behavioral Healthcare.
I was one of her patients. No. I'm Bruce. I was an attorney for 40 years. Yeah.
How many children and grandchildren and ages, and if you want to name their names as well?
Oh, wow. Okay, so my son Brad has 3 sons. Jackson, and he's 11 and a half, and we have Noah, and he's 8, and Colin is 6, and my daughter Carrie has 1 son who is a year old, and his name is Liam. And
Well, I have a grandson from this June. Yeah. Just
Yes.
1 grandchild. 3 children, 1 grandchild.
Julian.
How do you feel about seeing everyone after 50 years?
It's amazing. I wish I could recognize everyone, but I'm thankful for the name tags.
I don't recognize anybody.
Yes, he did not go to Fleming.
And anything else you want to add?
Just a great time to be here with people who have meant a lot in life. So everybody have a good time.
I was here for the 40th too.
Art Pendleton.
Where have you lived since high school?
I lived in Michigan. I lived in Virginia, Charlottesville, all over Virginia actually, and primarily in Roanoke and now Botetourt County.
What has been your career?
I was with Roanoke Gas Company for 25 years, and then I worked for a company in Michigan that is now no longer in business, which is why I came back to Roanoke. I worked a couple of years for Lynn Avis as a construction project manager. Then I left that to go work for Edward Jones as financial advisor, helped other people retire, and decided I could retire myself, so I took early retirement. And I found out I was good at it.
Children and grandchildren and their ages, and if you want to give names as well.
Well, Phyllis and I had 2 children. We lost Becky at age 30. Our son is 40-something, and then they have 3 children. Have 2 grandsons and a granddaughter.
How do you feel about seeing everyone after 50 years?
That's often enough. That probably won't go over good with the class.
Anything else you want to add?
That's all I got, buddy.
I am Carol Overfelt Clarkson, and this is my husband, Marshall.
Where have you lived since high school?
Since high school, I have lived right here in Roanoke. We currently live in North County.
What were your careers?
My husband just recently retired, and he worked for several companies, but he's still working a little on the side. He's a residential electrician, and I retired from a bank, Wells Fargo, with 40 years service, and I retired in 2012.
How many children and grandchildren and their ages, and if you want to give names as well?
Okay, we have, we're very, very proud of our 2 girls. We have a daughter 41 and a daughter 34, and no grandchildren, and we put them both through college.
And they're both in the school system.
And they're both in the school system, yes.
How do you feel about seeing everyone after 50 years?
Oh, it's so confusing. Everybody looks familiar and I don't know who anybody is. but it's nice. It's very nice.
And lastly, anything else you want to add?
I just appreciate everybody coming out. It's great. It's nice to see everybody. Yeah, 50 years is a long time. Thank you.
Lee Snyder Hodge.
Jim Hodge. I don't have a maiden name.
Where have you lived since high school?
Blacksburg, Floyd, Roanoke, and Stanton.
Blacksburg, Floyd, Roanoke, Stanton.
What was your career, both of you?
For me, counseling and sales.
And primary mother.
Well, I'm a mother.
She stayed home most of the time raising
I was
kids.
a stay-at-home mom for a while.
All right. Children and grandchildren, their ages, and if you want to give their names as well.
Okay, we have 2 children. Brian, who's 44, Paige, who's 40. We have 6 grandchildren. Amelia, 15. Ellie and Aaron, almost 13. Blakely, almost 13. Evan, 11. And Rory, 8.
How do you feel about seeing everyone after 50 years?
A little nervous.
I don't know. I really don't know most of them. I'm with her.
Anything else you want to say?
No, just glad to be here. Glad we're here.
We're glad the grass is below our feet.
Lane Ridenauer Lee.
Where have you lived since high school?
Atlanta and Arlington, Virginia, and Bedford and Roanoke.
What has been your career?
High school art teacher, then got into the legal field and human resource management.
Children, grandchildren, and their ages?
None.
How do you feel about seeing everyone after 50 years?
Well, I think we look pretty darn good.
Richard Honecker. We're married.
In the 9th grade.
Well, yeah, we were married for a week. Sorry.
Sorry.
Anything else you want to add?
Not really. I'm just seeing strange people. Okay. Thank you.
My name is Eric Eanes.
And I'm Vonda J. Eanes.
Where have you lived since high school?
Cities.
Let's see. Harrisonburg, Virginia. Norfolk, Virginia. Roanoke again for a long, long time. Charlotte, North Carolina.
We're in Radford and Annapolis.
Yeah, Radford, Virginia, Annapolis, Maryland. Not necessarily in this order. Tigakay, South Carolina, Myrtle Beach, South Carolina.
What have been your careers?
Well, I've been in the food business, one form or another, for most of my life, either in the restaurant business or selling to the restaurant business. I'm currently a purchasing guy for a chain out of Charlotte.
And I was a banker for about 19 years, and now I'm in on the other side, work for federal government.
Children, grandchildren, and ages and names if you want to give them.
We have a son Josh who's 34, a son Jake who's 29. Neither is married, so we don't have any grandchildren, at least none we know of.
How do you feel about seeing everyone after 50 years?
I'm excited about it. It's going to be interesting. I'm wondering how many people I'll really recognize. So we'll see.
Anything else you want to add?
Just great to be alive.
No, I'm just along for the fun.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Cause she wants to. I I have never won squat, and I figured since I am the coordinator tonight, I'm going to do myself a favor and put this sucker on my head. So I hope you don't mind. All right, next thing I want to do, I want everybody to grab your cup, and if you don't have a cup in your hand, pretend like you do, because this is going to be a moment. You ready? All right, everybody raise your cup. We have 72 people who have passed in our class. 72. And we are all standing here, alive and well. And I want to take this moment to say, thank you, God. So let's raise a glass. Amen. Amen. All right, now, here's some stuff. All right, we have some wonderful food back here. We have a video going here of past videos of past reunions. We have, Smitty Clary did a memorabilia here, okay? So we all need to like move over if you want. If you don't, hold on, I gotta put my glass on. Okay, Tommy Fireball's here to take our class picture, which is why these chairs are here, etc., etc. And Kathy is over here in the corner. Raise your hand, Kathy. All right, it's $15, check or cash. Okay, if you want it, you don't have to. And they're going to take that, snap, and go. Finished ours? Okay. So, we also have a videographer in the back. See the sign that says Getting Better with Time? All right, here's the deal on that. I want everybody, if they wish, to get in front of Rob. He's going to ask you a couple questions. We're going to put this on YouTube so we don't have to pay for it. And everybody will have access. Frank's going to edit it. And there's that. Okay, hold on. Okay, if you haven't put your cooler in the bar, please do. We can't put coolers on the floor. Okay, so anybody who has a cooler. The coins. Frank Wright and Smitty and Frank decided to do this, and I think it's a wonderful idea. We have a 50th coin in commemoration for our reunion. So I think it's great. It's a neat way to remember tonight. Thank you, Frank. Thank you, Smitty, for that idea. Okay, so I'm going to turn this over to Tommy and let him tell you about what he wants you to do for the class picture. Okay?
Okay, in a orderly manner, let's have the lady sitting on the front row there and possibly the second row also. This is graduates only, okay? So come on down. Ready? 1, 2, and 3.
Charles Andrews.
Where have you lived since high school?
Oh, since high school?
Yeah.
Well, gosh. After Roanoke, I lived in Raleigh, North Carolina. I've lived in Sandusky, Ohio. I've lived in San Antonio, Texas. I've lived in Rantoul, Illinois. I've lived in Rapid City, South Dakota. I've lived in Sacramento, California. I've lived in Atwater, California. I've lived in Limestone, Maine. I've lived in Bunker Hill, Indiana. I've lived in Elizabethtown, Kentucky. And then for the last 36 years, I've lived in Slaughters, Kentucky. And then there's some more places where I only spent, a week, 2 weeks, a month.
been your career?
Well, I've had many jobs during my career. I've spent time doing construction work. I've worked in a bakery. I've worked in a cafeteria. I did research with sports fisheries and wildlife. I spent a little over 8 years in the Air Force as a navigator in an airplane. I taught a class of biology in a community college. I've taught a class in computer programming in community college. And then I was a registered nurse for 28 and a half years. And then I retired at 60 and a half.
Children and grandchildren, their ages, and if you want to give their names as well.
I have 5 children, 3 grandchildren, and they don't like talking about their names. They don't even like having their pictures done.
That's fine.
Okay.
Doesn't hurt to ask. How do you feel about seeing everyone after 50 years?
Oh, I think it's interesting and exciting both. Seeing the changes that people have had, and I've seen some of the people through the years at the other reunions, but every reunion again, it just feels special.
And anything else you want to add?
I hope that I get to come to the next one in 5 years.
All right, that's it.
Okay.
Nancy Dillard Pendleton.
Where have you lived since high school?
Lived in Roanoke, Bradford, Winston-Salem, and Asheboro, North Carolina.
What was your career?
I taught art, and I'm currently, the last 25 years, have been a real estate agent.
Children and grandchildren and their ages and names for you.
I have 2 sons, Tyler and Chris, and then I have 5 granddaughters, ages 1 through 8.
How do you feel about seeing everyone after 50 years?
It's good, and it's amazing how many I recognize most people. It's great.
And anything else you want to say?
I'm just glad to be here. It's great to see everybody.
Okay, I am Jay Childress, class of 69.
And I'm Nancy Helms Childress, class of 71.
Where have you lived since high school?
Benton, Virginia.
What were your careers?
I was a school teacher, Roanoke City Schools, 33 years. Taught at Madison Middle School, Roanoke City for 27 years. Coached baseball and basketball.
I was a secretary at a bank, and then Jay and I now own Roanoke Valley Driver Training School. We've been doing that since 1983.
We teach teenagers to drive.
And children and grandchildren and their ages.
2 sons. Jason, our oldest, is...
Okay, I'm sorry, one more time for that.
Jason is 37. Our youngest son, David, is 32. Jason is married to Cassie. We have 2 grandchildren. Peyton is 8, our granddaughter. And Jackson, our grandson, is 4, soon to be 5.
How do you feel about seeing everyone after 50 years?
About what?
How do you feel about seeing everyone here after 50 years?
I think it's awesome. I'm thrilled that so many people came today.
I'm amazed at how many of us are here. It's just wonderful to see everybody, and just grateful that I was a colonel back in the day.
And anything else you want to say?
No, I hope everybody enjoys this, and it's really good to see everybody.
Fred St. John.
Where have you lived since high school?
Since high school, I've lived in Ashland, Kentucky, Roanoke, and now living in Princeton, West Virginia.
What was your career?
My career was primarily in the coal business.
Children, grandchildren, and their ages.
Got 2 daughters in their 30s. Got 4 grandkids, 12, 9, 4 and 2.
How do you feel about seeing everyone after 50 years?
I'm having a hard time recognizing people. They're doing a better job recognizing me than I am them.
Anything else you want to add?
No, but it's nice to be here. I made the 10-year reunion. Maybe it was a little easier to recognize people then, but 50 years, that's a long time.
That's it.
Thank you.
I'm Dennis Kronk.
Where have you lived since high school?
Lived here in Roanoke ever since I was born.
What was your career?
Actually, it's not was, it's still my career. About 60 hours a week. I'm in commercial real estate, sales, leasing, development, and I have a firm here in town.
Children, grandchildren, how many?
We have a lot of nieces and nephews. And I have a wife for 40 years sitting right here beside me.
And how do you feel about seeing everyone after 50 years?
Oh, it's amazing. It's how much you recognize them, even though we all look very different. Great people.
Anything else you want to say?
Well, I think the one thing I want to say is the table they set up over there, the ones that passed, and it is a large number, 70 some of them. It's really something to look at. A lot of good friends that we've lost. So it's great to be here with friends.
My name is Ray Punky, is what I was known around in high school, Hardman.
Where have you lived since high school?
Wow, since high school I've lived in Greenville, North Carolina, went to college in East Carolina, lived in Raleigh, North Carolina, moved to Little Washington, North Carolina, lived in Richmond, Virginia, in Midlothian, and I've been in Florida, in St. Petersburg, Florida for the last 38 years.
What was your career?
My career, I've been in the lighting business for the last 35 years. Basically, I sell lighting to, in this stage, commercial people. We do conversions from regular lighting over to LED lighting is what's the big thing now.
Children, grandchildren, and how many in their ages?
Okay, I have 2 children, 32 and 38. They live both. One lives in Florida near me, and the other one is in Denver, Colorado. My one daughter, I have 4 grandchildren, ages 7, 5, 2, and 4 months.
And how do you feel about seeing everyone after 50 years?
It's an awesome event tonight. It is so good to see everybody, and it just feels like nobody's changed. We're all the same after 50 years. I would have never believed it.
And anything else you want to say?
No, just God bless everybody, and I hope everybody has as good a time tonight as I'm having.
Richard Church and Belinda Church.
Oh, and maiden name as well.
Belinda Graybill Church.
Where have you lived since high school?
Roanoke, Virginia.
What were your careers?
I work for Caterpillar Tractor, and I've been with Caterpillar for 45 years.
I work for Train Heating and Air Commercial Office here in Roanoke.
Children, grandchildren, and their ages.
Children, we have 3 children, 5 grandchildren. The ages, help me out here.
The grandchildren are 25, 23, 20, 16, and 1 year.
How do you feel about seeing everyone after 50 years?
It's wonderful.
It's wonderful. Love it.
Anything else you want to say?
No, I'm just glad to see everybody that's here. Glad everybody's in good health.
My name is Donnie Hansbrough, and I don't have a maiden name.
And mine is Kathy King DeWeese. My name is King.
Where have you lived since high school?
Roanoke, Virginia.
Yeah.
What have you done in your careers?
Go ahead, Kathy.
Geez, that's a lot. I've worked in medical, tech support, in construction end of it, pharmaceutical. I like knowledge.
How many children, grandchildren, their ages, and if you want to give names, that's fine too.
Go for it.
Okay, I have 2 children, Nicholas Hansbrough and Amy Canode. I have 1 grandson who will be 2 years old August the 18th of this year.
And I have 4 grandchildren, and one of them is studying to be a veterinarian now. She's graduated, and Noah is in Stanton River. He's going to graduate next year. And then I got Jamie, and I've got Connor. They're the other 2, and then Connor's the youngest of the bunch. Jamie is really good at soccer, and Connor is good at baseball. And he's on the traveling team, and Jamie got picked as the best of her whole area of her group that was in the schools, the regional area, for the best soccer.
And how do you feel about seeing everyone after 50 years?
Oh, it hadn't lost a day. It's great to see everybody again.
And do you have anything else you'd like to say?
No, it's just great to be here, and again, wonderful to see everybody at one little meeting here, and I look forward to the next one as well.
That's right. We got to have another one more at least.
That's it.
Okay.
Thank you.
I rub my eyes, I'm so surprised to see shadow dancers appear on the floor. They were dancing to the music they loved.
All right, we're coming to the time of the reunion where we need to call up the folk that made this possible. It sure as heck wasn't me. I'm here with my tiara, and I do say I am the queen. But I live in Florida, so 600 miles away, I helped to do this. So I would like to call up my committee. So here we go. For the following people, please come. I have to read. Dana Barnes-Lee, Doris Brown-Maddox, Marlene Bryant, Kathy Wright, Frank Wright, Ellen Langford, Sammy Pillis, Sandy Poff Wilkerson, Carter Fitzpatrick, John Galat, bring your tail up here, Punky Hardman, Smitty Clary, Van Barnes, Denny Early, and Billy Carrico. Come on. Move that thing. Who isn't here, Doris? Doris, who isn't here? Smitty's not here? Come across here. Line up like little children. Flip, get yourself out the way. All that crap. Line up this way. Are we all here? As Doris knows, and I just found out, this is a huge undertaking, and you have to have a good committee to pull it off. I think in life we don't recognize who really is the heart of the event, and it wasn't me. So, I just chose to email, call, and nag with my agenda in hand, and I'm 600 miles away. These folks did all that you see and have experienced this evening. We did so let me take a minute to highlight what happened through this adventure. We started last February, last year, with a meeting, then June, then February again. Keep in mind we had lunches, going to dances, and all that stuff thrown in because Mama didn't raise no fool. I ain't coming for no fun. Thank you. So let's start with the calling committee. You ready? Dana, Doris, Marlene, Kathy, Ellen, Sammy, Sandy, Carter, and John. We had these little booklets. Punky made them for us. We got together, we divvied up all the names. They got on the phone, got on the emails, called everybody we knew, and got them here. So the next interesting story was about Carter. So Carter says, you know, Barbara, I'm kind of busy. And so he gives his book to John Galat. And now, Carter only had about 30 names, so he gives the whole book to John Galat and says, here. Well, John Galat takes the whole book home. He goes through the whole book. He finds 200 more people in the class, plus a lot of people in memorials. And so he comes back, and now we had to redo the books all over again for the third time. And thank you, John, and thank you, Carter. So thank you, John, and thank you, Carter. Carter was SCA president. See how he delegates? That's right, baby. All right, here we go. So Van found our place. So thank you, Van. And he also helped get Flip. Where's Flip? Where'd he go? Oh, he's taking a break. He helped us get Flip for our DJ tonight. Sammy helped to secure Flip as well for our DJ. And he got our ABC license, which is very important so we can have a few drinks. Thank you, Sammy. All right, Smitty. He was responsible for advertising in the paper and the radio, getting our field trip to Fleming taken care of, and his table of memorabilia, which is in the corner. And Smitty's not here, so I'm going to take over for him and say, tomorrow there's a field trip at Fleming to see the new school if you haven't seen it, which I haven't. And it's at the same place the old one was, so I think you know where that is, right? Yeah. So at 11, we meet at the front door. It's an hour. Then we go to the New York Deli and have a little deli sandwich. And if you don't want to go to the field trip and want to come to New York Deli, come on, come on. All right, so Billy. Billy was responsible for hiding our photographer and our videographer, who was in front of us, Rob. Yay, Billy! Denny was responsible for the bucks. He kept the books, he wrote the checks, he got the list of classmates who paid, and he called classmates. So the last three are big time in the Queen's eye. I'm the Queen, in case you didn't know. So first we have Frank. Are you up here, Frank? Frank's up here. You ready? Oh my God, his creative genius allowed us our beautiful invitations, all the signs outside, our banners inside, and our 50th coins that you all got tonight at the door. And to save bucks, he's going to edit our video tonight and put it on YouTube so we don't have to pay a penny. Isn't that cool? So let's give a round of applause for Frank. Number 2 was Doris Jean. So what can I say? Doris has done this for years, decided to step down, so I said sure. She did this for 30 years, and I understand why she stepped down. She has helped me so much along the way, and I could not have done it without her help. She contacted classmates, she decorated this place, and with her committee, and she planned our menu for the night. So thank you, Doris. And last but not least, my left hand, Punky Hardman. So, he's saying, I ain't doing anything. Don't ask me to do anything. I ain't doing anything. I'm just not going to do anything. I'm not doing anything. But we started with databases, and he did databases for everything. Dead people, live people, tags, you name it. He was a database king. So, he was the one who did it all for us in terms of getting us all together and straight. We spoke nightly. We did input. He'd say, do something. I'd say no. And that's how it all went. So, I guess, as Queen, I need to do something special for Punky Ray Hardman. So I'm making him king of the reunion. Come forward, Punky Ray Hardman.
King for a day.
Here's your damn crown. Oh, and I forgot to take it out of the thing. I forgot to take it out of the because I'm a dope.
You got to take it out of the paper.
All right, so now, without further ado, I'm going to have each person speak on the committee and let them say what they want to say, and I'll shut up.
I just want to thank everybody for coming. It's really nice to see the people that have been back every year, and it's nice to see the new ones. Glenn Barnhart traveled pretty far, never been to one. Very, very excited to see him. I hope you get a chance. This night is all about stories, I think, so I hope you get a chance to go around and hear some good stories. If you don't know somebody that'll tell you a good story, I'll give you a couple suggestions. Check with Van Barnes. He'll tell you some stories about how he holds the record for being spanked in Coach Moore's phys ed health class, okay? Check with John Galot. He'll tell you about the time they filled Mr. Parker's car up with empty beer cans. Check with Billy Carrico. He has some good stories. I'll tell you a quick story on me real quick. I came back from Notre Dame and I went to Fleming as a substitute teacher for a while, believe it or not. Yeah, boo-hoo. And Mr. Arrington had just come down with cancer, and they offered me Mr. Arrington's English classes for the rest of the year. And Coach Lee came to me and said, "Carter, don't you dare become a teacher." And he was right, because I was teaching a speed reading class, and I had about 10 kids in there, and they'd give me a fit. And so about 10 minutes into the class, I stood up and said, "Listen, if you don't want to be here, just leave." And all 10 of them got up and left. So thanks for being here. I hope you enjoy the night.
I'm just glad we're all alive and here.
I would like to thank the class of 1970 for doing our registration. I think they may have gone home, but Jewel Wright Atkinson, John Garland. Okay, I knew I was going to screw this up. And Debbie Waldron something. Anyway, and Carter. And also we have 3 more coming back tomorrow night. And we are just so thankful that we don't have to sit at the registration desk. We can move around and visit with all of our classmates. We appreciate that. And I want to also thank the decorating committee. Let me see if I can get this straight. Okay, let me look around. Frank and Kathy Hudson Wright, and Frank's brother, and Dana Barnes, Ellen Langford Brown, who mercifully stayed late and took all the confetti and off the tables, because after we already put it all on there with sweet little 50s everywhere, we were told we had to take it off. Okay, and I'm now trying to think of the rest of my committee. Okay, Barbara, Punky, Larry, Smitty. No, wait a second. Pam Simonis. Anyway, who else? Anyway, we had lots of helpers. Thank you.
I will always be Punky in Roanoke, so no one could, I haven't been called that in many years. But I'm so grateful to be here tonight and be part of this. And now that I'm the king, you can have it your way, and it's not Burger King. So I'm just the reward for doing anything for all these people up here, I think they would all agree, is to see all of you here. And we may have changed a little bit on the outside, but we certainly haven't changed on the inside. And it's a blessing to see each of our friends and classmates, and to talk to you, and to get to know what you've been up to for the last 50 years. But I'm grateful to be here, and I'm grateful for everybody that was able to come tonight and participate in this. And I look forward to tomorrow night too. And I really look forward to David Stewart and the choir singing tomorrow night. So if you're not coming tomorrow night, you may want to rethink that one. So thank you very much for being here, and thank you for being my classmates and being part of my life for the last 50 years, both inside and out.
Sorry about this, but I just wanted to especially say that Carolyn Ward's daughter, Destiny Chambers, baked the cake. This is the second time she's done this for us. And she has her own business. If you're interested in any catering, please get in touch with Carolyn and she'll give you her number. Thanks.
Hi, everybody. I'm so glad to see all of you all tonight. I thank God that I'm here, and I thank God that you're here. I just wanted to say that we all know some folks that register and then plan to be here tonight, and you know, health things happen, they couldn't be here. They are here in spirit, and if you pray, I like to pray a lot, and if you'll just say a prayer for the folks that sent their money in and wanted to be here, but you know, stuff happened, they couldn't be here, but they're here with spirit, in their spirit, and I hope they get to come tomorrow night, and I hope to see all of you all here tomorrow night. It's been great seeing all of you. Bye-bye.
Well, I would just say that 50 years rolls out pretty dang slow in some ways and awfully fast in other ways. And it's good to see people who made it here. And I think of, I helped to compile, I guess, a list of folks that we've lost over time. And so I just wanted to remember them. And I don't know if I haven't even had a chance to get around to see if there is a special table or memorial. Okay, so there is a memorial table, and you know, I'm sure I'll want to see that before I go. And if I didn't see you tonight, maybe I'll see you tomorrow night. So thanks for coming. Excellent, excellent. So it's on Facebook page.
I just would like to say it's nice to see each and every one of you here. I would like for us, if you do not have any objections, to take a moment of silence for all of our classmates who are no longer with us. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I only step over here because the cord's starting to get stretched thin. Is going to go off the stage. I want to thank you for the opportunity to once again to produce this. If anybody has ever done any design work or worked with committees, it is the worst thing to do. I told Barb way into this plan, I said, I'm blocking everybody's number except for yours and your name. So I'm not going to receive any information except for what you gave me. And it turned out great. Like most things, we in the world of art, we make trade-offs and we barter things. My sister, dear sister, said, okay, I'll be glad to work your table, but you have to do for the 70th. So I had to go through and do all their artwork just recently. So that's what I have to say. My wife has escaped over there. She's plans on not saying anything. But thank you for the opportunity one more time. And see you soon. Thanks. Jamie?
I have to step over here because the cord isn't long enough. I don't know how the mic got to me so quick because I thought Doris got it every other time. But I guess we broke tradition or something here. But I just played a real small part on the committee this year. I hadn't ever done that before, and I knew before I ever did that somebody has to put in a lot of work to make this happen. And since I did do that, I really realized how much work some people do put in. And so thank you to those, Barbara and Punky and all those who really did put in the hard work to make this happen. And it's so nice to see people you hadn't seen for a long time and hear stories. And those of us that are here are blessed to be here. And thank you for coming. Thank you.
That's all I have to say about that.
Okay. Is everybody else gone? So I came to Roanoke 60 years ago, and tonight I saw somebody I haven't seen for the last 50 years. Where's Doug West? Ravenwood Avenue. We grew up, and there was a key person there. And before I introduce him, I'm going to let him come up and take part of my time. But I want to say thank you to my wife, who's been a big influence on me. Patty, raise your hand. We've been married for 46 years. That's an automatic applause line. I just wanted to tell you our secret because I like to pass it on to people. we faithfully have date night once a week. Mine's Friday. Did somebody cut? Okay, all right. No, it actually disconnected. I became a Baltimore Colts fan because Jay Childress showed up at my house when I was 9 years old. I had a blue football outfit. He had a red one. We played one-on-one tackle football in my backyard. Jay, start walking up here. I'm going to give you the mic. But because of that, that shaped my life. Because I said, who am I supposed to be? He said, well, I'm red, you're blue. I guess I'm the Redskins and you're the Colts. And I followed the Colts faithfully my entire life. And that's just one of the many people who've influenced me. I want to thank you for the influence in my life. I want to also acknowledge Richard Honecker for coming tonight all the way in. Good to see you, Rich. And Glenn Barnhart, I want to do a picture of all the doctors before we leave. But I'm going to give up my time to somebody here. Jay, come on over. I went to the dedication of Breckenridge, and it was Moyer Hill, and they named the gym after him. Anybody remember Moyer Hill? Yeah. When I had seen him a month earlier, he says, Billy, come on in here, I want to show you something. He pulled out our gym books from 7th grade. He still had the grade books and everything. It's like a time machine. It's amazing. And at his dedication, I heard one of the best speakers I've heard ever. It was this man standing next to me, Jay Childress, and I'd like him to tell you a memorable story that he told that day about the experience he had. It was the first day at Breckenridge. So we go way back, so I yield my time to Jay Childress. Let's give it up for Jay.
I want to thank him for giving me so much time to prepare for this, but I taught school in Roanoke City Schools for 33 years. I'm a former Breckenridge student, and in September of 1963, it was my first day of school at Breckenridge. It was also Moyer Hill. Many of you Breckenridge alumni will recognize Coach Hill. And by the way, he's still teaching at Breckenridge. He is still there, 50 plus years. He's an amazing man. Part of my duties at Madison, I coached baseball for a long, long time there. And Coach Hill was still coaching at Breckenridge, so it was a very odd thing. I actually had my teams play his. But I remember the very first day of school. I lived in Dorchester Court, over near where Valley View Mall is today, and I walked to school the first day of school to Breckenridge. And I remember hearing some of the older kids in the neighborhood tell me they're going to kick your butt when you get to junior high school, you know. So I had the big fear of getting beat up the first day of school. It's a true story. I walked to school, met at a little service station across the street. If you went to Breckenridge, you remember Hardee's. And of course, you got your gum and whatever you needed for the day. So I'm walking up the sidewalk to the front doors, first day of school. And there's huge pine trees. And you walk up, the pine trees serve almost like a gauntlet. And I'm walking up toward the door. There's a little anxiety. I'm nervous about first day of school at Breckenridge. And I'm worried about getting my butt kicked when I got there. So I'm almost to the door, and this kid comes out of the pine tree. And he says, hey, and I stopped in my tracks. You a 7th grader? I said, yes, my first day here. He says, I've been in 7th grade 3 years. It's not bad at all. You'll be fine. That's a true story. His name was Mike Barber, actually. Yeah. So anyway, I had Miss Trinko for history. I got one more Coach Hill story. Had Miss Trinko for history, and her room was on the 2nd floor at Breckenridge, and it overlooked the fields, the athletic fields in the back. Coach Hill had one of his PE classes out, and they were playing football, and he was the quarterback for one of the teams. And if you remember Coach Hill, he would take the kids that weren't the athletes, and he would just kick the butt of the kids who thought they were athletes. So, and that's what was going on. But I was sitting in a history class, but my interest was on the field, and Coach Hill was quarterbacking one of the football teams. And I was watching the game, not listening to history. And I'll never forget this. He sent 2 kids wide, deep routes, and he's looking left, and he threw the ball to the kid on the right. He never looked that way. It's perfect Pat's touchdown. So I'm sitting in history class, and I pumped my feet, yes! And I had Miss Trinko. Does anybody remember her? She's a little stern. And she said, Mr. Childress, you will report here at 3 o'clock this afternoon. And you know, in those days, she didn't call a parent, and you reported back to her class, and I stayed there until 4. And so that was bad. But the beauty of Roanoke City Schools, and I want to tell each of you how grateful I am to have been your classmate, whether I knew you well or just knew you or didn't know you at all. It was just a privilege to be a part of William Fleming High School, and I still wear the blue and gold very proudly today. So thank you for listening. And thank you, Billy, for this impromptu.
All right, we're finished, so let's boogie. We're finished. Turn the lights down, turn the music on. Let's get on the dance floor. People, we ain't that old. We can still move it. So let's go. And thank you for coming, and I hope to see you tomorrow.